Hi students, today I am going to give a lecture on fluid mechanics, fluids and its properties. So what is a fluid? A fluid or liquid which is capable of flowing, right? It has no own shape but conforms to the shape of the containing vessels. That is what is called a fluid or a liquid. And a fluid is a substance that continually deforms under an applied shear stress. Okay, so when we look at solid, liquid, and gas, liquids are like water, milk, air, steam, etc. And as I have already told you, a fluid or a liquid is capable of flowing. It is not rigid. It has no fixed shape. It will occupy the shape of the container, right? And it has a fixed volume. It cannot be squashed. That is what is a liquid. Then what is a solid is, it is rigid. We all know what are solids. If you take your bench, it is a solid. It has a fixed shape and it has a fixed volume and it cannot be squashed. Okay. Then coming to gas, gas is neither rigid nor fixed shape nor fixed volume and it can be squashed. Okay. Now, what is the difference between solid and fluid? As I have already told you, a solid is generally own shape. It has a own shape and change in volume under pure compressive load only. Whereas, as I have already told you, liquid has no fixed shape. It occupies the shape of a container. Okay. Then what is fluid mechanics? Fluid mechanics is that branch of science which deals with the behavior of fluids at rest as well as in motion. Okay. So the branch of science deals with static, kinematics and dynamic aspects of fluids. If we are studying about the fluids which are at rest, then it is called as fluid statics. And fluid kinematics is that we are going to study the fluids in motion where pressure forces are not considered. And the next one, fluid dynamics, is that where pressure forces are also considered for the fluids in motion. Now, next important topic you have to learn is units and dimensions. Units and dimensions you have already studied in your physics, in your plus 1 and plus 2. But then let us go ahead because for fluid mechanics, especially in first unit and third unit, which is dimensional analysis, without learning the units and dimensions, you cannot go ahead with the entire chapters. Okay, so there are basically two types of units. One is fundamental units and the next one is derived units. Okay, so what are fundamental units? We should see what are fundamental units. And second one, as I have told you, derived units. Fundamental units are nothing but all physical quantities which are length, mass, time, L, M, T. And derived units are expressed in terms of fundamental units. They are area, velocity, pressure, etc. And as I have already told you, you must have studied in your 11th and 12th physics. There are different systems of units. CGS units, FPS units, MKS units, and SI units. Okay. CGS units are the fundamental units of length, mass and time, which are taken in centimeter, gram and second respectively. So for length it is centimeter, for mass it is gram and for time it is second respectively. Then coming to FPS units, the units of length, mass and time are taken as feet, pound and second respectively. And in MKS units, the fundamental units of length, mass and time are taken as meter, kilogram and seconds respectively. And coming to SI units, SI unit system has 6 basic units, 2 supplementary units and 27 derived units. Mostly we are using SI units only. Okay. Now coming to the types of fluids, which is very important. Okay. So the types of fluids are classified into 5 types. First one is ideal fluid, then real fluid, then Newtonian fluid, then non-Newtonian fluid, and finally ideal plastic fluid. Let us see one by one what is ideal fluid. An ideal fluid is a fluid which is incompressed and have no viscosity. That means compression will not be there, compressive force will not be there, and viscous force will not be there. Such a fluid is called as an ideal fluid. Students, it is just an imaginary fluid. It will not exist in its real in the environment, because definitely every fluid will have some compressive force and some viscous force. So there is no ideal fluid in reality. It is just an imaginary fluid, right? Then the next one is real fluid. A fluid which has at least some viscosity is called as real fluid. Okay. Then next one is Newtonian fluids. Newtonian fluids is that which obeys Newton's law of viscosity. Okay. What is Newton's law of viscosity is shear stress is directly proportional to shear strain. Tau is equal to mu du by dy. In the later part of our lessons, we are going to learn about tau is equal to mu du by dy. Now, for the purpose of classification of fluids, if any fluid is obeying Newton's law of viscosity, that fluid is called as Newtonian fluid. Example, water, kerosene, etc. Then non-Newtonian fluids, you must have understood, which is not obeying Newton's law of viscosity is called as non-Newtonian fluid. For example, paint, toothpaste, etc. The next one is ideal plastic fluid. A fluid having the value of shear stress more than the yield value, and the shear stress is proportional to the shear strain, is known as ideal plastic fluid. Okay. Now, the very important part or important portion of the first unit of fluid mechanics is the properties of fluids. Very important. See, unless and until you understand these properties of fluids, you will not be thorough with the later parts of the fluid mechanics chapters. Okay. These are the fundamentals which all of us should know and should learn. Okay. So we'll go one by one with the properties of fluids. Basically, there are 9 properties which we have to study. First one is density or mass density. Second one is specific weight or weight density. Third one is specific volume. Fourth one is specific gravity or relative density. Fifth one is viscosity, dynamic viscosity and kinematic viscosity. 2 types of viscosities are there. Okay, then surface tension then bulk modulus, then compressibility, and then capillarity. So we'll go one by one. Density or mass density is denoted by the letter rho. All of you listen carefully. All of you should remember three important things in each property. As I have told you, there are 9 properties. And in each property, three important things you have to remember. First thing, the definition of that property. Second thing, the units and the formula of that property. And third thing, if it has a constant value, you should remember that value also. These three things you have to remember. Are you understanding? The definition, the formulae, and the units. Then, if any standard value is there to that particular property, that standard value also you have to remember. Okay, so let us go one by one. The first property is density or mass density, which is denoted by the letter rho. So density or mass density of a fluid is defined as the ratio of mass of fluid to its volume. So mass by volume, rho is equal to mass by volume is the formula which you have to remember very carefully. Density rho is equal to mass by volume and its units are kg per meter cube. And as I have told you, your definition you have to learn, then the formula and the units you have to learn, and the third one, if it has a standard value, that also you have to remember. So the density or mass density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube, which is very important to remember, because in every problem of fluid mechanics, you have to know this value. The density or mass density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. And mercury is 13,600 kg per meter cube. Okay. And for air, oil, you have these values. Okay. So density is nothing but mass by volume, which is denoted by the letter rho. So mass of fluid by volume of fluid is nothing but density. Its units are kg per meter cube. And for water, the value is 1000 kg per meter cube, and for mercury, the value is 13,600 kg per meter cube. And for air, it is 1.23 kg per meter cube, and for paraffin oil, it is 800 kg per meter cube. And you have to understand few parameters also. Temperature increase with density decrease. Both are inversely proportional. If density is decreasing, temperature, if temperature is increasing, density will decrease. And if pressure is increasing, density will also increase. So vice versa. Okay. Increase in pressure causes increase in density, whereas increase in temperature causes decrease in density. Very important points to remember. See, even when you write your GATE exam or when you go for your competitive exams, without understanding the properties of fluids, you can do no problem, I tell you. You have to learn these properties very carefully. Then you can do any kind of problem in any competitive exam and even in GATE exam also. Okay. Then the second property is specific weight or weight density, which is denoted by the letter small w. So specific weight or weight density of a fluid is the ratio between weight of fluid to its volume. Dear students, density is mass by volume. Specific weight is weight by volume. Very easy to remember. Okay. So the weight per unit volume of a fluid is called specific weight or weight density. So small w is equal to rho into g. You can remember this formula easily. And its units are Newton per meter cube. And here you have to remember these values of water and mercury and the other parameters also. Specific weight or weight density of water is 9810 Newton per meter cube or 9.81 kilonewton per meter cube. And for mercury it is 13,000 1,32,943 Newton per meter cube. Okay, which are very very important values to remember. And here also you can understand one important thing. I told you density varies with temperature, density varies with pressure. Increase in temperature causes decrease in density and increase in pressure causes increase in density. In the same way, even for specific weight also, increase in temperature causes decrease in specific weight and increase in pressure causes increase in specific weight. Okay, you have to remember carefully. And the third important property of any fluid is specific volume. Specific volume of a fluid is defined as the volume of fluid occupied by a unit mass or volume per unit mass of a fluid. Okay, volume of fluid by mass of fluid 1 by rho. Units are just upside down. Okay, rho units are kg per meter cube, whereas specific volume units are meter cube per kg. And the fourth property is specific gravity or relative density, which is denoted by the letter capital S. Specific gravity is defined as the ratio of the density of a fluid to the density of a standard fluid. You can take this density of standard fluid as density of water, and the numerator is density of that particular fluid, which is specific gravity. So specific gravity is density of the given fluid divided by density of the standard fluid, nothing but water. So this is very very important to remember. Specific gravity of mercury is 13.6. Okay. Then the next property, which is very very important property, is viscosity. Viscosity is the property of a fluid due to cohesion and interaction between molecules, which offers resistance to shear deformation. Okay, shear deformation. So, different fluids deform at different rates under the same shear stress. Different fluids deform at different rates under the same shear stress. For example, fluids with high viscosity, such as syrup. Okay, all of you must have taken some kind of syrup when you are small, or when you get cold, like that, or when you get cough, like that. Okay, so liquids like syrup etc. deforms more slowly than with low viscosity such as water. This is very very important concept to understand. Okay, fluids with high viscosity deforms very slowly than fluids with low viscosity such as water. I already told you the Newton's law of viscosity, that is shear stress tau is equal to mu du by dy, where tau is shear stress, mu is dynamic viscosity, du by dy is change in velocity. Okay. Then coming to this property of viscosity, there are two types of viscosities. When it is simply mentioned as viscosity, it is nothing but dynamic viscosity. And the other kind of viscosity is kinematic viscosity. Okay, we'll go through both. Dynamic, dynamic viscosity is nothing but mu, I told you already. So, it is defined as the shear stress required causing unit rate of shear deformation. So I told you already the Newton's law of viscosity tau is equal to mu du by dy. Now we want this mu which is dynamic viscosity. So mu is equal to tau divided by du by dy. That's what. See, mu is equal to tau divided by du by dy. And its units are Newton second per meter square, or we can also call it as poise. The units for dynamic viscosity is Newton second per meter square, or you can also call it as poise. Then kinematic viscosity. Kinematic viscosity is nothing but mu by rho. Mu is dynamic viscosity, rho is density. So kinematic viscosity notation is nu. Nu is equal to mu by rho, and the units are meter square per second or stroke. Okay, don't forget. Then the next property is surface tension. Surface tension plays vital role in any fluid. Okay, surface tension is defined as the tensile force acting on the surface of a liquid in contact with gas or on the surface between two immiscible liquids such that the contact surface behaves like a membrane under tension. Okay, this concept you have to understand very clearly. Here we have uh, just heard about two cases. First case is surface tension is defined as the tensile force acting on the surface of a liquid which is open to atmosphere. And the second case is it is the tensile force acting on the surface between two immiscible liquids. Immiscible liquids means both will not mix together. For example, if you put mercury in water, both will not mix. Both looks like two different liquids only, which are called as immiscible liquids. Okay. So basically surface tension is nothing but the tensile force. Okay. Which keeps the each membrane under tension. Okay. So due to molecules attraction, liquids have properties of cohesion and adhesion. Cohesion is due to the force of attraction between molecules of the same liquid. This is very less or small force only. Coming to adhesion, adhesion is due to the force of attraction between the molecules of two different liquids. Cohesion is between same liquid. Adhesion is between two different liquids. Are you getting me? Then the next property is bulk modulus, which is also very important property. Bulk modulus is defined as the ratio of change in pressure to the rate of change of volume. Bulk modulus is denoted by the letter K, and it is change in pressure by change in volume, which can also be called as volumetric strain. Okay. So K is equal to minus dP by dV by V. dV by V is nothing but change in volume. dP is change in pressure. Okay. Here you can see the typical values of bulk modulus of water and oil. Okay. Now the next property is compressibility. Compressibility of a fluid is the reduction of the volume of the fluid due to external pressure force acting on it. Compression means the molecules gets compressed, okay, due to the external pressure acting on it. So a compressible fluid will reduce or change in volume in the presence of external pressure. Okay, here you can see very clearly. Just now I told you about bulk modulus K. Here compressibility is nothing but 1 by K. Okay, units are Newton per meter square. Okay, okay. Then the next one is capillarity. Capillarity is defined as the phenomena of rise or fall of a liquid. Okay, see, this capillarity is a property which indicates the level of the liquid when compared with the surrounding liquid. When you dip a small glass tube in a liquid, if the liquid level is rising in the tube than the surrounding liquid, or the liquid level in the glass tube is falling below the surrounding liquid, that is called as capillarity. Both will happen. When you dip a glass tube, the water may be, the liquid may be rising or the liquid may be falling. I tell you, if the liquid is water, the liquid level in the glass tube that is dipped will rise above the surrounding liquid. If it is mercury, the liquid level in the glass tube falls below the liquid level of the surrounding liquid. Okay, it is due to pressure of cohesion and adhesion again. Okay, it is expressed in terms of centimeter of or millimeter because it is either fall or rise of liquid. Okay, its value depends on the specific weight of the liquid. Just now I told you. Okay, because if it is water, the capillarity will be in terms of rise, capillary rise. If it is mercury, because mercury is a heavy liquid, it will be capillarity in fall, capillary fall. Okay, so these are the properties of fluids. Actually, each property we have seen in an elaborated way. When problems are given also, you should be in a position to uh, correlate with each property. Then only, if you understand all properties only, whatever may be the problem given in fluid properties, you can do. Otherwise, it will be a big task for you. So, all of you should understand each and every property so very carefully. Okay, so just let me give a summary of all the properties. Okay, density or mass density rho, specific weight or weight density W, specific volume V, specific gravity or relative density S, viscosity. Viscosity is two types: dynamic viscosity and kinematic viscosity. Then surface tension, then bulk modulus, then capillarity. Okay, so in the next few lectures, we are going to solve the problems of fluid properties. Students, especially, This viscosity problems are very very important, and surface tension problems are also very very important. Okay, capillary rise problem also sometimes you'll get capillary rise or fall, but basically this density, mass density, viscosity, surface tension problems are very very important, which we are going to solve in the later days. Okay, take care. All the best for the next lectures. Thank you. This is Chandrakantama, Assistant Professor, Ishwar Engineering College, Chennai. Thank you.